And a pleasant good morning to you and yours, or good afternoon. It still feels like morning to me here on the Brevard Sports Network. Happy New Year's Eve. Yes, it is New Year's Eve. I hope you and your traditions tonight, the pickled herring and the champagne and bringing in the new year and all of the great stuff that comes with New Year's Eve. You and your family celebrate tonight. For me, I hope it's pickled dolphin tonight for my Ravens. Anyway, no, I'm kidding, of course. I don't want PETA getting all over me. Big football game today here, or actually up in Baltimore. Good luck to all of my Miami Dolphin buddies out there today. Here's hoping you play well, but here's hoping the purple and the black come out on top. That game coming up at the top of the hour. I've also decided for 2024, I'm going to opt out, and I'm also going to declare myself eligible for the next play. What a mess that was last night. In case you missed it, if you watched the Cowboys and Lions game last night, the referee crew in that game has been demoted, whatever that means in the NFL, demoted from postseason action in the NFL. What a mess that was. The NFL, they can figure out ways to screw things up. And what a great showing it was by Florida State in the Orange Bowl yesterday. But with all that said, what a great year of high school sports in Brevard County. From just you go back to 2023 and start at the top of the year. You had Chauncey Gardner playing in the Super Bowl for the Eagles. You had the VIERA Hawks win a state soccer championship. Emma Risch becomes the first ever McDonald's All-American. And it was just an absolutely incredible year. VIERA Hawks baseball goes all the way to the state championship game this year. I'm trying to think of some other things off the top of my head that happened in 2023. How about the Cocoa girls and that unbelievable relay team of Leanna Tyson, Trinity Parham, Angel Parham, and Shantaria Thomas? Just an unbelievable another run for them. The Rockledge, we get another NFL player selected in the draft in Mr. Green as he goes to the Detroit Lions. Speaking of the Lions and getting Antoine Green, speaking of the Lions and getting robbed and jobbed last night. It was another great year. Satellite Boys, again, state runners up in tennis. It was just another great year. Cocoa football, obviously, we've talked about it at nauseum over the last month. Cocoa football wins their back-to-back state championships. VIERA and Merritt Island both make it to the Final Four. So it was just a great year of high school sports here in Brevard County, one in which we saw state champs, state runners-up, regional champs, and here's hoping that the new 2024, the new year, brings much of the same. But with that said, we went back. It took a long time to do this. As we went back through the year and looked at a lot of film and came up with four games that we felt qualified for. Four games, four matches. If you're talking soccer, it's match. If you're talking volleyball, it's match. That we feel qualify for game or match of the year. Now, how this is going to work is just like this. We're gonna run highlights from these four matches, and then you're gonna vote in the Facebook comments. You're also gonna vote because Caleb's gonna get it up on Instagram and Twitter, and you're gonna vote there as well. Essentially, the way these votes always turn out, if you look at like Florida today's, Community Credit Union Player of the Week, it's always which community can garner up the most votes for their player or whatever. But I really want you to take a look at these four games and the circumstances surrounding them. I say this, but I know it's not going to happen. I really don't want this to be just a community thing. take a look at some of these games and matches. Look at where these teams were in these games and look at what ended up happening. I guess the theme for these 4 matches this year is snatching victory from the jaws of defeat, because it is what all 4 of these teams did, and did so very well. Our first one up happened last February, and it was really quite a run that without this, they don't make it to the state championship. Without this comeback, without this miracle, the miracle at VIERA, I'll call it, they don't make it to the state championship. And I'm talking about the VIERA boys soccer team. Now, they're playing in the state semifinals against St. Thomas Aquinas. And just before the half, this happens. This is a penalty in the box, which means a penalty kick. Now, it's a bad call. It shouldn't have been called. And you're going to see a golf cart go by at the top of your screen here in a minute. That golf cart happens to carry one Nick Robinson, the head coach of VIERA, who was delivered a red card for his displeasure with that call. And, well, he had a right to be upset. I don't know what was said, but the bottom line is because Nick was given a red card, he was not able to manage in the state championship game. And there you see that goal, which came at the very end of the first half and put St. Thomas Aquinas up by a 1-0 score. And that's the way it would stay all the way through the second half of this match until we got to the 92nd mark of the second half, meaning there were just 90 seconds, a minute and a half left to play in the match. How exciting was this match? Adam Franco from Coco was there, came to watch this match, and I watched him jump up and down when what occurs. So without further ado, here is the final 1 minute and 30 seconds of that match.
Play. Ball up in the final third. Opportunity here for the Hawks. Gabe Shelton finding Max May on the far side. Max May driving. Tries to get across in. He's got Vinder.
Yeah, there it is!
VIERA Hawks goal! Jordan Torres! Yes, sir!
What a play!
What an opportunity made. Ball comes across. Jordan Torres streaking on the far post. I did not even see him coming. Goal scored. Tables turned. VIERA Hawks tie it up with a minute and a half left to play.
Wow, what a play. He struck it perfectly that time, Matt.
Got it clean through the goalkeeper.
Rivas did not have a chance.
No, he did not. Great job from the Hawks.
This place has come to life.
Hey, there's still more games to play here, guys. We got 2 15-minute halves to play. Long ball coming in, but nobody home to find this one. Punched away from the keeper.
Dangerous play.
He was out of the box.
Yes, he was out of the box.
And that's a free kick.
He absolutely was out of the box.
Free kick for the Hawks just outside the 18. And this is a great opportunity here for the Hawks. 21 seconds left to play. Free kick just outside of the box on the handball from the goalkeeper.
I mean, he was a foot and a half outside. Thank you. Yeah. That was unbelievable.
Great call from the official who's standing right at the 18-yard line to see the goalkeeper come out and hit that ball.
I couldn't actually believe what I saw he was doing.
He didn't have anything but his hands. He went with his head.
Yeah,
he was going to lose it out behind him.
Yes, exactly.
And I think he just said, I got nothing left I can do. So Max May standing over this ball. You know, we were saying they were missing strikes.
Yeah.
The last one was a damn good one.
That was perfect.
We're going to look for another good strike here from Max May, the captain. Here. Standing over the ball with the right foot. Shot going in.
There it is!
VIERA Hawks!
There it is!
Max May!
Oh, my goodness gracious!
Finish to this game with 20 seconds left to play. Max May puts the ball low in the bottom corner. A minute and a half to play, and Hawks get 2. What a game! This is amazing! Everybody standing here in disbelief that the Hawks are going to go down, and 2 goals in a minute.
Unbelievable.
And
there it is!
Game. And on their way to the Florida FHSAA 6A State Championship for the 2nd year in a row, the VIERA Hawks.
Wow, how about that final 2.5 minutes?
What a crazy game.
Unbelievable. As the student section. That's right. That's exactly right.
Lord. I thought I was watching my son's last high school game there for a minute, but we got one more.
I'll tell you what a great feeling that's got to be. But you know what? The 4 missed strikes. What an improbable, if you know anything about soccer or generally sports at all, to do something, to score twice in a minute and a half in a match as big as a state semifinal is truly remarkable. And what that program was able to accomplish last year was also truly remarkable. They were 21-0-1. They would go on to beat Fort Myers 4-2 in the state finals. And since then, a 21-0-1 season last year. And then you look at what they've accomplished this season thus far. They are 11-0. So 32-0-1 is their record dating back to the start of last season. In fact, the VIERA Hawks boys soccer team last loss came in the state championship game, not last year, but the year before, to Doral Academy. So that is nominee number 1, the VIERA boys soccer team. We had some other games that we looked at that we felt like just were really, really good, but just didn't make the cut with these 4. One of those games was the regional final for VIERA boys baseball. We thought that was a terrific game as well. That 7th inning, the 1-2-3 double play from Campbell to Sosa to Fano Cruz, and VIERA would go to the Final Four. But we just didn't feel like that game quite was with these 4 games. Our next nominee comes from high school football, and it comes from the GALLIE Commodores, who for the first time in program history would capture a district championship, and they too would do so in comeback fashion. Not only would they do so in comeback fashion, but they would do so with the backup quarterback in the game as well. And the game-winning touchdown scored by one T.J. Robinson is a play I will forever remember as one of the best single efforts to literally put a team on his back and get them into the end zone that I've ever seen in Brevard County high school football. So without further ado, we start this off in the 4th quarter with the Rockledge Raiders ahead 17-14 over GALLIE. And then the Raiders are facing either 3rd or 4th down. If it's 4th down, they're punting. But they will punt the ball back to GALLIE, and we'll watch the final drive. That GALLIE defense. Green wants it. He's got it. Looks to throw. Does. Great coverage. Incomplete. Nearly with a one-handed catch. That's just good coverage. It's a good route. Off. Great snap. And a great punt. What a punt. What a punt. Rockledge got exactly what they needed from their special team. Latson. That wide receiver screen takes too long to develop. It's the 3rd time tonight. They wide receiver split equally to each side. Raiders caught in between defenses, cut back. Great run inside. What a cutback that time by Latavius Welch. And Welch caught the Raiders in a shift. They're in the wrong formation. And they're going to call another timeout. No, they're not. Okay, so they get in the right formation.
Mekhi Biggs, 4th and short, give. Oh, no. He's got to run with it. Oh, he's going to get it. What a first down pickup by Terrell Robinson. Wow. Everybody playing a little quarterback. Was that Robinson or Latson? That was Latson. My apologies. That was Latson that time. Thought it was Robinson. But Latson with a big move in the backfield to avoid the Raider sacker. 1st and 10 at the 29. Tick-tock, tick-tock. 2:42 to play. Latson gives, cuts outside. Oh, my goodness. That's 15 yards. He dragged him down and made no apologies about it by his face mask. And that'll be a 15-yard penalty. And that'll put the football at the 15-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Commodores at the 15. 1st and 10. Oh, he's drilled, but he hangs on to the football. And that is an absolutely huge, huge sack for Damari Jenkins. That's his 2nd of the night and the Raiders' 5th. 5 sacks from here. Latson steps up, throws, wide open in the flat, cuts back. Still on his feet. Is he in? Touchdown! Oh, Gallie! Touchdown! Commodores! Terrell Robinson, wide open on the flat. Latson hits him, and he fights his way into the end zone. What a play. First down and a lot more here. Green looking. He spreads, runs to his left, throws, intercepted. Larice with the pick, and the O'Gallie Commodores. Xavier Larice picks it off, and that'll end it. The O'Gallie Commodores will win the district championship.
What I don't think people truly understand the individual effort from TJ Robinson on that play. It was absolutely a thing of beauty. He breaks, there's one Rockledge defender, there's 2 Rockledge defenders, and the second Rockledge defender just fails to wrap up. Bounces off of him like a ball, tennis ball off a wall. There's a third Rockledge defender, and then the one gets back up, and there's another Rockledge defender. That is one of the greatest single efforts I've ever seen from a high school football player to get into the end zone to help his team win its most important football game. And then, of course, that video right there, if you go back and watch that, it's interesting. Excuse me, because that video had in it everything that was really good about the O'Gallie Commodores this year. And at one point in it, it even had, look, every football team has good and bad. That video had all of the things that were really good about O'Gallie, the tough defense, the running the football, the ability to have next man up, the individual effort. And it had some of the things in it that cost them this year, which was you saw some of the discipline at the end of the game there with the dancing and Chris Sands grabbing his players off the field. So it was that video right there was like a little microcosm of what the O'Gallie Commodores were able to accomplish this season. It was a fantastic accomplishment this year, beating the Rockledge Raiders for the first time since 2008. They end a 15-year drought, and that football game certainly worthy of being a nominee for our game of the year. As good as the finish of that football game was, from a personal perspective, for me, my favorite finish to a football game actually happened at the youth level this year. And it occurred from the 14U Space Coast Panthers. Not only did the Space Coast Panthers snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, they absolutely ripped it from the mouths of the West Tampa Spartans. This was one of the most miraculous and improbable finishes you're ever going to see in any level of football. It begins with them trailing with 1:47 to play, down 18-12. It's 4th down and 7, and they have the football on their own 6-yard line. Let me repeat that. 1:47 to play in the game. They've struggled all game offensively. There was really nothing that indicated throughout the course of this game from Coach Strickland's team that would tell you they were going to go 94 yards here in the final 1:47 to win this football game. But Coach Strickland's a great coach. He's got a great staff, and he's got some outstanding student athletes on that team. 18-12, 1:47 to play. The Space Coast Panthers 14U team has the ball on their own 6-yard line, and that's where we pick it up.
He won't be the quarterback. The quarterback rolls. He's just going to let it go. He does. Guess what? He's open. It's caught. Oh, my goodness. That's exactly what he did. He turned. He rolled. I tell you what, how do you not cover him up? That is the tallest guy on the field, and he ran right by the defenders, and a good throw that time by Jaquavius Sanders, and he hits DeLorean Rogers down the sidelines, and the Panthers, for the second consecutive time, pull one out of the hat on 4th down. This is touchdown! Dion Bland. He kept it. Everybody went inside. Bland went out. And with 59.2 seconds to go, the Panthers have tied it up. And that's what he does. And he does a heck of a job at it. That ball's going to roll all the way down. Oh, Space Coast! Space Coast has recovered it! Space Coast has recovered it. Unbelievable. All the way down the field and recovering the ball was Avonte Davis. Nobody went back to pick the ball up. Yeah, that clock is crazy. They're rolling. Throws it up. Bland back. He catches it. He catches it. Touchdown! Space Coast. Unbelievable. Back in the corner of the end zone. And the Panthers have snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. Unbelievable catch by Dion Bland on a throw from Jaquavius Sanders. And that's the end of the ball game. Can you believe that? Holy smokes. What an ending. There were 3 defenders there, 3 of them. And he lofted that ball in the corner of the end zone. And Dion Bland, with the play of the day, not only catches that football, but he gets a foot in for the touchdown. Congratulations to the Space Coast Panthers. Unbelievable.
I don't know who the photographer is in the background. I don't know if he's with the Panthers, but he certainly is jumping for joy with them. What a catch by Dion Bland and a throw from Jaquez Sanders. Just great play in that final 1:47 to come back and win that football game. And that catch is certainly worth looking at again. He doesn't get just 1 foot in. I believe, the second foot he gets in the back of that end zone too. He maintains possession of that football all the way down to the ground. And believe me when I tell you, those officials were on top of absolutely everything in that damn football game. There wasn't anything those officials missed. In fact, I thought they absolutely created flags on a couple of plays in that game. Trust me on that one. But the fact that they go 96 yards with 147 to play on their own 6-yard line, 4th and 7, the pass was an absolutely beautiful play. And then, of course, Bland ties the game with 1:05 to go. You know, it's kind of like, to me, this was very similar to watching the New England Patriots go back against the Atlanta Falcons when it was 28-3. No, the deficit wasn't there. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, for the Patriots, in order for the Patriots to have come back in that football game, everything had to go perfect for them. They had to get 2 2-point conversions. I mean, everything had to go right. And the same thing for the Panthers in that final 147. They had to score a touchdown. If they were going to win in regulation, they had to get the onside kick. They had, they got some penalties go their way. They got Tampa frustrated. That's all part of a great football team. And that's what the Space Coast Panthers did that day in winning that 14U MFYC. And, well, not only did the 14U team win it that day, but they actually won every Super Bowl that day. I believe it was 6-8. They won 4-0 that day, 6-8. I want to say 10-14 or 6-8, 12-14. I can't remember, but I know they went 4-0 that day, and it was absolutely an incredible experience and a blessing to be able to call that football game. All right, excuse me. I'm getting over a cold, so you'll have to forgive me. So once again, to this point, our 3 nominees have been VIERA Boys Soccer, GALLIE Football, Space Coast Football, and yes, ladies, we did not leave you out. Our final and simply remarkable comeback of the year comes from VIERA Volleyball. What a finish in arguably one of the best matches ever played in Brevard County in the regional finals. The VIERA Hawks needed a victory to get back to the Final Four for the second consecutive season. A win in this match would give them their 3rd straight regional championship. I'd have to go back and look. But anyway, this was an opportunity for them to get back to the Final Four and then reach the state championship game, which they would do, and for the second consecutive year become state runner-up. But it wasn't easy. They faced an Oviedo Lions team that took a 2-1 lead. And if you know anything about girls high school volleyball, you only need to win 3 out of 5 sets. So with Oviedo up 2-1 in the 4th set, they were also up in the set 22-20. They only played a 25. Oviedo needed 3 points to win the regional championship. VIERA needed 5. And then they would go to the 5th set. Obviously, VIERA comes back to win that set. Then they would go to the 5th set. And in the 5th and deciding set, in which they only played a 15, Oviedo would again lead late in the 5th set, forcing VIERA to come back. Here is the end of the 4th set and the end of the 5th set.
Timeouts. 22-20. Oviedo leads. Wisniewski serve. Received by Stark. Set. Izzy Stark gets the kill. And they need that.
Yes,
22-21. Oviedo leads. Back to serve is Sophia Jones, who's got to get some points here at the line.
This is the biggest run from the service line for Jones.
Sophia Jones received by Stevens. Bumped up. O'Brien, long, and we're tied at 22. Oviedo making mistakes. VIERA has to literally hawk in on this and take this win. And Oviedo takes that first time out. And we're tied at 22 if we get there. Sophia Jones to serve. This is arguably the biggest point to get. Jones, received by Stevens. Bumped up, run up. Just a finesse hit there. Set, Izzy Stark, received by O'Brien. Popped up, run up into the net. Goes Oviedo and Klimas, and VIERA takes back control. Stevens, popped up, run up. Yarborough, received, bumped up by Talbot. Izzy Stark, Oviedo gets it, free ball, Stark. Set, point, VIERA. 24-22. You don't want overtime. Sophia Jones to serve, received by Avery Stevens. Popped up by Wisniewski. Yarborough, Talbot's there. Set, across, blocked. That's a huge block by Oviedo. Set, Jones. Oviedo's there, bumped up, run up, kill long, and we're going to 5 sets. Digs it up. Popped up here. Sent over, great dig by Beek. Oviedo popping up, set back, kill, block down, and it drops for Paige Wisniewski. And Oviedo's 2 points away now as they lead at 13-11. Coach Sarah Wayne takes the final timeout. Serve. Talbot is there, set by Izzy Stark. Sophia Jones down the line, Yarborough's there, set back. Wisniewski gets it over, Beek pushes. Back across, O'Brien, match point Oviedo, and this is it. For all the marbles, for everything on the table, every chip. Addie Ims to serve for the win. Talbot, set by Stark, Beek, and that's a kill. VIERA still here. Still match point for Oviedo, 14-12. Mallory Mers to serve, still match point for Oviedo. Set. Run up, Wisniewski, popped up by Mers. Sophia Jones, received by Stevens. Back, blocked. Back set, run up. Yarborough, VIERA's there. Talbot, up in the air. Izzy Stark, Oviedo receives it. Stevens, O'Brien, back line to Talbot. Izzy Stark keeps it alive with the kill. Still match point, but with only 1 to give for Oviedo. Point for Oviedo, 14-13. Mers, received by Yarborough. Set, run up, O'Brien. VIERA's there, they're gonna set Stark. Izzy Stark! And we have overtime in the 5th set. VIERA has come back. And we are tied at 14. Now is who can stay cool and calm in this moment. Set. Back, Wisniewski, long, match point for the VIERA Hawks. Jones, match point, received by VIERA, bump set, run up, tip, Stark set by Mers, Izzy Stark blocked, and we're tied again. Oh my, there's a serve, set by Mers, it's Stark again. Match point VIERA. Same song, different dance, 17-16. Now can VIERA finally close it out? Back to serve is Amelia Talbot. Match point, Talbot, received by Stevens. Wisniewski, long, and VIERA is going back to the Final Four. They complete the comeback in the 5th set, 18-16. Oh my goodness. The Cardiac Hawks are going back to winner. Jones, match point.
What an absolutely phenomenal finish. The most incredible part there, like for the Space Coast Panthers boys football team, the touchdowns were great, but the big play there was the 4th down play inside their own zone. Now, I say that because for the VIERA Hawks volleyball team, if you don't understand volleyball, to trail 14-11 in the fifth set, meaning Oviedo needed just one more point to win the entire match, but could not get it. And the way the Hawks fought back to win that and then advance to the state Final Four, where they would advance to the state finals, losing to St. Thomas Aquinas. Simply an absolutely remarkable volleyball match. The best in the county this year, no doubt. All right, so let's recap how you're going to vote. You simply write in the comments Space Coast football, VIERA volleyball, VIERA soccer, or O'Galley football. That's all you need to do. Just O'Galley, VIERA soccer, VIERA volleyball, or Space Coast. We will announce the winner tomorrow here on Brevard Sports Network, 1 hour prior to the start of the first college football semifinal game. All right? Is it the Space Coast Panthers? Is it the O'Galley Commodores? Is it the VIERA Hawk soccer? And I forgot to download the girls there. So, or will it be the VIERA Hawk girls volleyball? Those are the only four choices you're voting on. We narrowed it down. If you have another game, great, but it's not nominated. So these are the four nominations for that. Now, I also want to take a minute to talk about our volleyball all-star team. We're struggling. I'm being honest. We can't come up with just 8. We will narrow this down and release something hopefully a little bit later today. It's tough. It's really, really tough, and we don't want to leave anybody out. We just don't, and we don't think we want to do more than 8, because then that just becomes everybody gets a trophy. So we're trying to keep it at 8, but it's hard. It's really, really hard. But we're going to do our jobs, and we're going to get it done. I promise you we will. So once again, your choices: the Space Coast Panthers 14U football team, and snatching victory from the jaws of defeat, O'Galley and their comeback against Rockledge. What about Max May and Jordan Torres against St. Thomas Aquinas, and Izzy Stark, Sarah Wayne, and Sophia Jones, and Mallory Mers, and Haley Beek, and all of the girls' VIERA volleyball team in what they did in that regional final. So, once again, Happy New Year. Coming up a little bit later on today, we will release a little montage of the entire year in sports. All of the things you saw here from last January to right here today on Brevard Sports Network. It's about a 12-minute video. We hope you enjoy it. So for Caleb Brown, I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski. Have a fantastic Happy New Year. Go Ravens! Sorry, Dolphins fans.